Welcome back, guys, to Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney, as now Vera has taken the stand to say that yes, she is indeed the forger. We move on after a little bit of a recess to find out more. Okay, so where exactly does this leave us, Apollo? Well, the Drew Misham who was killed wasn't Drew Misham the forger, basically. Huh? Well then, who was he? Well, he was actually doing her nails. So you really made those forgeries?
Yes, for father. I know it was wrong.
Could you tell us how it happened?
My father was a painter. I loved painting ever since I was a child. One day, father saw it in me. He saw that I had the talent.
The talent for making forgeries?
How should I say it? It was not only paintings I made. Given the materials, I could make anything.
Anything?
Father was so proud, and I so happy. But in the end, I was making those
forgeries.
I'd never had a good constitution nor personality. I know very little of the world outside my door. Now, because of me, father is... Do you know about this red envelope? I remember that envelope. It was some time ago.
So you were already, you were already creating your works back then?
I started when I was only 12 years old.
So the one who figured out the stamp was poison, that was... Mr. Justice, it's time. To the courtroom, please. Right. Out of time.
Wait, Vera, just one more thing, please. Those 3 paintings in the studio. I painted those as part of my work. Right. See, we checked them out and we saw what was underneath. We saw the rough sketches underneath the 3 finished paintings. I see. Mr. Justice.
Yes?
Father, he knew of you. Of both of you.
Your late father?
He was watching, gathering information. All about the Wright & Co. law officers.
But lately we're not doing law.
Yes, you do tricks, gags to amuse, and play piano.
Well, they're not really gags, and yes, I do know it was said just law.
Yet when father heard you had resumed the legal business, how pleased he was.
Who was Mr. Misham? How am I supposed to know?
What if he was Daddy's daddy?
Judging from the relative ages involved, I'd say it's highly unlikely. Things are already confusing enough with all these daddies running around. Daddy this, daddy that. We know that the victim's daughter Veera was the forger. What does this mean for the case? Guess we're about to find out. And so back to the courtroom we go. Court is now back in session. Veera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Perhaps you could begin by telling us how it all worked. How did you set up this Drew Misham forger persona? There's that stare again. She's drilling more holes into his head.
I know it's hard for you, but hey, he's a handsome guy.
What's hard? Very well, miss, if you would. Did you really make those detestable forgeries? Perhaps you'd rather answer my question. Were you the one who painted that painting? A remarkably similar one?
Ah, yes. I painted it, yes. Father praised me quite highly for it.
So, she was the one who made the forgeries. Yet she did not wish to reveal the truth of their operation. So the victim was a stand-in, a decoy. To the world at large, he was the forger, not her.
I've done a bad thing. I have, haven't I?
Regardless, we need a little more information. About, for instance, this. You've seen this before, yeah?
Yes, it was in the desk drawer.
Very well. You may proceed with your testimony. Tell us everything you know about this envelope.
So it's the red envelope we're learning about.
I created things, and Father sold them. This envelope came after my first work. That was other than a painting. Father handled the deal, all of it.
Well, that's kind of obvious. He was the one known as the forger, after all.
I received the stamp that was in that envelope. It was after that job that we moved to the current studio. She speaks very quietly. Very slowly, very deliberately.
There certainly was much of great interest in your testimony.
Not that the witness realizes it.
Very well. Please begin the cross-examination.
Right, okay. I need more information about this forger. This Drew Misham.
I created things and Father sold them.
Well, the golden bangle was not lighting up, so we're not getting that. So these things you were making, you mean paintings identical to other paintings, right?
The closer they were, the happier Father was. I was happy too.
Still, you're quite young now. When did you begin this work?
My first painting sold when I was 12.
Your Honor, she had no idea what she was doing was illegal. She knows it now. Easy there, little attorney. You're not here to defend her for the crime of forgery.
True. Please, tell us more about this envelope. This envelope that may very well have killed your father.
All right. This envelope came after my first work. That was other than the painting.
What was that then? By other than a painting, you mean you'd only done paintings up to that point?
Yes. But Father had a realization. He noticed my talent extended to making things other than paintings.
For instance,
a letter someone had written. Or a fingerprint left upon a cup. Or a signature on a document, a seal upon a letter.
none of this makes her sound very innocent at all. And the $100,000 promised in this letter was the start. The beginning of a new industry for Drew Misham.
A new industry?
The creation of items to be used in criminal proceedings. Forging evidence, in other words. Uh-oh.
Vera handled the deal, all of it.
Yeah, well, that's obvious. So you didn't know how the things you were making were being used?
I enjoyed painting very much.
I think I understand. The Fräulein has lived in an unusual little world. Can you tell us what happened to the papers that were in this envelope?
Father signed them and sent them back, I believe.
Did you follow the instructions? Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp.
This is a rather important matter. Give your answer some thought.
I received the stamp that was in that envelope.
What do you mean, you received it?
Did I do something wrong?
You didn't use that stamp because it was dangerous, correct? Deadly poison on the back, atroquinine? A moment, Herr Forehead. You can't force an answer upon the witness. Now then, perhaps you would tell me, Fräulein Vera. Why did you receive this stamp?
Is something wrong?
It was beautiful.
Ah, you mean it was one of those commemorative stamps?
Yes, I think it was.
So, you didn't know about the poison? Someone who did would have burned it and got rid of it. I guess not. So the trap failed by chance, by mistake, thanks to this commemorative stamp.
Quite the close call.
It was after that job that we moved to the current studio.
You hid? You mean you moved to where the current Drew studio is? Saying that, they can't really have hid when they called it Drew Studio.
Yes, we saw very few people there. I began drawing picture books.
A single job had tied them to the criminal underworld. I think Mr. Mission wished to reduce their visibility in the world at large.
When we had to meet someone for some reason, Father posed as the creator of the work.
So that was the real essence of the artist Drew Mission. You did the work and he supplied the face.
So, you really didn't know anything, did you? You had no idea how much danger you were in.
Apparently not. About this commemorative stamp, could you tell us more about it?
It was very pretty, and more than that,
Yes?
it was a picture of people I liked at the time.
This is something new. Bit early in my queue. Apparently, we've got some cross-examination yet ahead of us. If you would be so kind as to continue your testimony, Fräulein. Oh, where is it? Come on, give me more.
The stamp was a picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it.
Your favorite magicians, eh? Magicians?
I love mysterious things. I always have. Even though she fainted when she saw Mr. Hat.
You're confusing mysterious with freaky.
Father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much. See? Isn't magic great?
Fine, great, yeah, sure. No need to get all excited.
But the magic troupe we saw disbanded soon after. I was quite sad.
Troupe Grammaire, Grammarye. Did she just say what I think she said? Magic troupe? Now where have I heard that before? The red envelope came after she completed her first job. That makes it a letter from her client, whoever wanted a forgery made.
Apollo?
We're close. We just have to piece together the parts. A deadly weapon in a red envelope. And the path it took to take Drew Misham's life. So we're just looking at the path. So we got this statement added. Oh, yeah, you got to draw your picture, yeah. Draw this one too. Right, so the path it took. It was taken out of the envelope because it was a commemorative stamp of her favourite magicians, which happened to most likely be Troupe Grammarye. So what am I doing with this statement? Am I saying this is why? Or is it because they've left the amount... Is that because they've left the magician side of things vague? Do I present this as it is a Grammarye thing? Well, you shouldn't really present the envelope. That's personal to a certain madame here. Because she can't figure out the name of who they are, maybe I should just present this for now? I mean, honestly, we've got a health bar refilled. We're not really worried about any penalties. I'm always worried about penalties. Objection! But it seems we struck gold. Those magicians you liked. Was it this bunch?
Apollo, they're not a bunch.
I see. Still, I have to wonder, why include a commemorative stamp like that in a business letter?
Good question.
Well, pretty stamps are always better, and you can't beat Troupe Grammarye.
But the whole murder plan was a failure because of it. Ironic, don't you think? Prosecutor Gavin,
Huh?
Prosecutor Gavin! Goodbye.
What's with Gavin? Might I ask just one question of this witness? In your testimony just now, you stated this was your first work that was other than a painting. Please, tell me, what exactly did you make?
Can I ask why...
No, answer the question, now!
Hee.
Prosecutor Gavin! You're usually not the one whose volume concerns me.
Yes, it is unbecoming of me, I apologize. But, I must know. Please, Miss Misham, tell me.
It was a book. A single page in a book.
A book? Please be more specific.
It was a handwritten book. Like a diary.
No! I don't... No!
What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss Misham, this book. Was there a picture of a silk hat on the back cover, yes or no?
How did you know?
Prosecutor Gavin, the defendant is answering all of your questions. Stop badgering her. He's told you nothing, has he? Your soiled, sullied mentor. Nothing?
Sullied? Who?
Phoenix Wright. Who else?
Danny?
He never told you about the trial 7 years ago? About how he came to lose his attorney's badge? It was a certain piece of evidence that decided his fate, you know. A certain diary. On the back, it bore the mark of a silk hat.
What?
Phoenix Wright, tossed out of the profession by false evidence. And the forger who made that evidence. Is this girl standing right in front of me? Vera, you must tell us. The evidence you made was used in a trial 7 years ago. Who asked Drew Misham, you, to forge that evidence? For all of our sakes, who was it?
We only met once.
You met the client? Well, who was it?
It was... What's going on with Vera? She's staring at Prosecutor Gavin's face again.
Yes, what? Is there something about me?
I remember clearly. I remember who gave me the book, the diary.
Who was it? Vera?
The devil.
Defendant Vera Misham, condition unconscious. Examiner's diagnosis, acute atroquinine poisoning. How? This ends the recording of the trial for the murder of Drew Misham. Vera Misham was, during the trial, poisoned by an unknown assailant. The dosage was just under the lethal amount, sparing the defendant's life. She is currently in intensive care and is not to be disturbed for any reason. A very simple case, at first glance. Until it finally began to show its true colours. The long road to the truth takes us to the record of another trial, with some very familiar music. In some ways, that was the starting point of it all. And that is where we must go. To find the whole truth. Nothing but.